guys, it's Jo here with another Time for Tea Designs video. I hope you're all really well this Friday evening. Today's video I'm making an autumnal card. That was the word of the day during our Facebook Live yesterday. Apologies if you can hear the cat crying in the background. He's having a little bit of a moan at me at the moment, but I'm going to persevere and hopefully we can make it through this without too many complaints from the cat. So I'm just cutting down some cardstock so that I can make my background for my Slimline card that we're making today. And I'm starting with some Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink. And I'm going to blend this into some of the new Crackling Campfire ink. I absolutely love this colour of ink. This new shade from Tim Holtz is just really working for me for the season at the moment. And we decided for something a bit different that I'm going to blend this into the Aged Mahogany. Again, this is becoming a favourite shade for me. So I did have to just stop there to deal with the complaints from the cat. But he's here with me now on my knee as I record this voiceover. So hopefully he's a bit more content now. So I've just finished up blending those three colours together, and I really think that they work well for our autumnal theme. And I wanted to add a little bit of extra shimmer to this background, so I'm using some of my metallic fine tech paints to splatter some different size bits of that paint onto my background. And I'm using two colours, the gold and this rose gold, which almost looks brown from the camera viewpoint there, but is a really beautiful shimmery rose gold once it's dried. It's a little bit difficult for you to see on camera there, but you will be able to see it a little bit better in the pictures at the end. So now moving on to our colouring. I've already stamped these up, so I missed that little bit out just to fast forward to the colouring. And I'm going to start with our little mouse here who's holding on to a little berry, and I'm going to colour him using shades of E70. So the E70 shades are a really nice grey shade, and they work really well for your critters. So they're a combination that I use quite a lot. I've used the R56 there to colour in the little berry because that really matches with the tones in our background. And then I've moved on to our fox. Now the fox and the squirrel I'm going to colour in the same shade. So I'm going to have a red squirrel as well as our red fox. That way we've got a little bit of continuity and balance to our scene that we're going to create. So I've used some shades of E7 and EO8 for the body, and then EO1 and EO2 just to add a little bit of contrast, and some soft pink for the ears. So like I say, I've done exactly the same thing with our little squirrel, and I have just added on there the shades that I used to colour in the acorn, but I will come back to that a little bit later on. I've used the same technique that I've used in previous videos that you will have watched. So I'm using the lightest shade first and building up to my darker shades. And here I'm just using a little bit of the tip-to-tip action in order to blend through that really light shade of E2 into our EO7. And I've done that so that you can see some of my brush strokes, so it looks a little bit like the fur of the squirrel's tail. For the leaves and for the acorn, I really couldn't tell you what colours of green I actually used in the end. I just grabbed a whole load of my green shades that seemed quite olive in their base colour. I used the Y12 to colour the centre of my leaves and the base of the acorn, and then I've just used various olive coloured shades to colour in the rest of my leaves. I've done some lighter leaves and combined that with darker shades so that there is a little bit of contrast within that pile of leaves there. But like I say, these are all the green shades that I pulled out but I just mixed them up, mix and match them. So yeah, so I couldn't really tell you which was used on which leaf. You'll have to figure that one out and give that a try yourselves and see what colour combinations work best for you and what you come up with. But we did all of this while we were having a real good chat about what people were doing this weekend, what films people were watching, what TV people have been watching. So it was a really nice bit of colouring that we did there. And that was my little leaf that I'd used as inspiration to colour our leaves today. So I'm just using the coordinating dies that come with the Woodland Critters stamp set. So I didn't mention that that's the stamp set that we're featuring today. This is a previously out of stock item that we've just popped back in the shop because it was so popular and seemed perfect for this time of year. So, and I know a few of you have already grabbed this. So well done to you for getting these little cuties. So in the meantime, I have also cut out the Slimline aperture die from our background that we inked up. And this gives us the perfect little backdrop for all of our critters to sit in or pop out of. And I love the tiles, the waste that's cut from this aperture die as well. But we'll use those on a different project because they don't quite work for what we're going to do today. I'm just cutting down a DL card blank here so that it fits perfectly around that Slimline die. And then I'm going to add some of this, I think this is crushed olive distress ink. And this is going to go all down the middle of our card blank here. And that will just add a little bit of colour behind those apertures. And I'm darkening that up with a little bit of the Forest Moss distress oxide ink. And I'm going to use that same ink to then add a little pattern using some of the tiny leaf and heart stamps that are part of that same Woodland Critters set. So I'm just randomly adding those along my background, and I just keep adding the die over the front just to see which of those images are showing, and do I have any open spots where I need to add an extra image. So just randomly adding those and making sure I've got everything that I need. I added a few extra little bits, extra leaves there just to make sure that that was all nicely filled up. And that's our background complete. So now I just need to arrange our little critters and see where I want everything to sit, and also figure out where I'd like my sentiment. So we've got all our extra little elements, and I did stamp and die cut some extra accessories, some extra leaves, some extra mushrooms, extra acorns, just to really make that scene complete. Because once I'd positioned everything, I realised that was a few elements missing. For our sentiment then, I'm going to use the sentiment that's in the set, which is "You Are Very Sweet." And I'm going to split this and have part of it at the top of our card, and then another banner at just above that final aperture. These banners were pre-cut. I'd cut them using the mini frames and banner die set, which is the perfect die set for creating banners for all of your sentiments. And I've already previously die cut some of these in black, and I've stamped my sentiment there with some embossing ink and covering that with my white embossing powder, and then I'm going to set that in place. So now all that remains really is to start assembling our pieces. So I've added some foam tape to the back of this aperture die, and removing all the backing tape. I've fast forwarded that for you so you don't have to watch me do all of that. And then I'm placing that over our stamped background. I'm just figuring out where I want the leaves to sit, and I decided I want the darker set of leaves at the top and a lighter set at the bottom, which matches our ombre effect and the gradient of colour that we've got going on our background. And I'm using some liquid glue just to add our images and pop those in place. And this really is was such a lot of fun to make. Once we got all of those bits together, just arranging them and adding dimension to some of the elements, popping some of those down just flat to our background, just really did bring it all to life. These little sprigs, I guess you would call them, make a perfect little bed for our mouse to sit on there. And then I'm just trimming down our banners so that they don't hang off the edge of the aperture. Popping those on with some more liquid glue so that they lay flat. And then I decided that we did need some extra decoration to the front. So although that looks really, really pretty as it is, I felt that some of our extra little bits that we'd already coloured and die cut would just add something extra to our scene. So I'm adding the mushrooms and the acorns to the little piles of leaves that we have there. And I'm also going to add some of those directly onto our background. So I'm just dotting some of my glue onto those and popping those in place. So I do the same for the pile of leaves at the top and the bottom. And then I did have to make myself another mushroom because I felt for balance the mushroom worked better than adding any other element. My Jelly Roll pen will just add a highlight to all of my coloured images. I just think that that really finishes them off nicely and makes them look professional, and add a little bit of highlight to the eyes as well. Some glossy accents for the noses. And then we're pretty much done. And like I say, those tiles, I will keep those for another project because I did love them. There was always a call out for me to do a quick insert. So with our aged mahogany, I stamped some of those leaves. And then the sentiment, I'm nuts about you, I decided to add into the centre with some of that crushed olive. So again, that just carries through the colour scheme from the front and into the inside of our card and finishes it off perfectly. I hope that you liked the card today. Like I say, it was so much fun to make. We did decide to have a little bit of a giveaway as well at the end, which was to give away this card here, which I made during a Create and Craft appearance when this set was first launched. The winner, out of the number of correct answers that we had to our question, what is the name of this stamp set, was Alison Chelsea. So well done to you, Alison. I'll message you separately so that I can get your card to you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today. Here are some close-up pictures of the card that we made today. Like I say, if you liked it, it would be great if you could like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll be back again with more videos for you again real soon. Thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye for now.